Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan, and what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to some tips and tricks on how to write a tutoring company business plan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and mosey on through my little PowerPoint presentation that I've got lined up for y'all. So first and foremost, a little bit about me, and then we'll talk about you. I am a professional business writer. I've published many books on Amazon. I've also written many business plans over the last 10 years. So if you want to avoid going down the wonderful journey of writing your own business plan, please pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, and let me know that you want me to write your business plan for you. I'd be absolutely delighted to do so. However, if you do want to write your own business plan and you want to go ahead and, get the experience of doing it yourself, more power to you. Fantastic. However, let me be a guide for you. I do have many books published on Amazon.com. So all you got to do is just go over to Amazon.com, put in my name, Paul Borosky, and voila, a whole bunch of books about business plan writing is going to pop up for your reading pleasure. And finally, a little bit of experience about why I am qualified to help you on this journey. I am an adjunct professor and a subject matter expert for both business and finance. So I do know my stuff, and if you do need some help with your financial projections, love financial modeling, be absolutely delighted to do so. Again, do the same trick. Give me a call, send me an email. Be delighted to help. And with that said, let's go ahead and talk about you. All right, so tips and tricks for your tutoring company business plan. First thing is going to be in your company description. A lot of companies, they do a really good job for writing up their competitive advantages. They're able to identify what they do good, what's going to help them gain market share, and they do a real good job with including that into the business plan. Now, yes, competitive advantages are fantastic, and what a competitive advantage does is anything that your organization is going to do to help you gain market share. Is it going to be your location? Are you going to have a shop right at the corner of a busy street where you're going to have a nice big sign out there? That's going to be a competitive advantage. It's going to give you some market share. Customer service, if you do a really good job with the personal aspect of the tutoring, again, that's excellent. Make sure to use that as a competitive advantage. However, a better strategy when writing your competitive advantage section is to look for core competencies. A core competency is something that you're going to do better than everybody else. And, for example, that might be a strong training program. So if you have a training program that you show people how to, do mathematical formulas in a step-by-step precision process, then instead of just going with a location or something that's a competitive advantage, drill down on your core competencies. And finally, even better, in your competitive advantage section, identify a distinctive competence. A distinctive competence is going to be a unique offering that no other company in your area does. And for an example, with a tutoring subject or with tutoring, it could be that you have one tutor that just does multiple subjects and they're very good at that. So when you're writing your competitive advantage section, try to identify a distinctive competence to include. If you can't, then go with a core competence. And if you can't identify a core competence for your company, then identify some of the competitive advantages that's going to help you gain market share. All right, next is going to be industry research. The tutoring company industry, there's a lot of people that do it, but really interesting enough is there's not a whole lot of information out there about statistics for tutoring companies. So when you're doing your industry research, you're not going to be able to go to a trade magazine and get statistics about tutoring. It's going to be more of your niche resources like your IBIS World and your Business Wire. So when you're doing your industry research, make sure to go to those sources first, get your information. Once you're done with that, then go ahead and do some competitor research and identify which organizations are going to be best aligned with your services you're going to be offering. For example, if you're going to be tutoring math and science and foreign languages, you don't have to worry about math tutoring companies that just specialize in math. So next, once you identify your information for your sources, then go into your competition, identify who's going to be best aligned with your competitors, and do some research and do a write-up about them. Make sure to stay away from tutoring companies that are not aligned with the subjects you're going to be tutoring. Tip number 3 is going to be advertising. A lot of tutors, they do a real good job with social media, and they do a good job with the word of mouth. Parents do like to talk if you do a really good job helping the students, especially when they start to excel. However, a lot of tutoring companies that I've noticed, they're staying away from their websites. They're going towards the social media. They're using Facebook as a replacement for a website. But what I have found is that a lot of individuals, when they need a tutor, they're going to go to the web and they're going to Google tutor, and they have a hard time finding tutors because there's not enough websites out there. So when you're doing your advertising, yes, go ahead and drill down on your social media. Yes, go ahead and continue to ask for business via word of mouth. But also, put up one of those websites. Go to your the basic websites, for GoDaddy and Weebly. No, those are some really good places to just get a basic website. And if you can get that information out there, you're going to be competing at a different level. And the tip number 4, funding request. How much money do you need? I love tutoring businesses. I love writing tutoring business plans because of the wide spectrum of funding needed. I have worked with tutors that all they need is pretty much just going to be a computer, a piece of paper, or a notebook and some pens. And that's all they need. They maybe $1,000 and they're ready to go, and they've got their tutoring thing going on. Other tutoring companies, they are on the other end. They may need thousands of dollars where they're going to have to buy some land. They're going to have to do a building. They're going to have to do a build out. They're going to have to get some upgraded electrical because they're going to have computers going, and they're going to have multiple rooms for their tutoring sessions. So your business request could be as simple as $1,000, and it could be as complex as $100,000. Regardless of what your tutoring business funding needs are, make sure to have a specific dollar amount set in your mind. And when you write your funding request section, make sure that dollar amount is within the first 1 or 2 sentences. Make sure that you have that specific dollar amount. If you need $100,000, put $100,000 in there. If you need $150,000, specifically state $150,000. Stay away from the ranges. When you start doing ranges, it kind of shows that you don't know how much money you really need. So do a specific dollar amount. That's going to be your first step. In the first 2 sentences, specific dollar amount. The second section is going to be a breakdown in categories of where that money is going to be spent. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and identify, per piece of paper it's going to be 2 cents, multiply the paper by, 57,000 sheets of paper. Don't go that specific. But if you need, office material, put that as a category. If you need office equipment, put that as a category. If you need working capital, money to, sustain your business, put that as a category. Once you're done identifying the categories, then total up the categories and make sure you put a total dollar amount needed for funding, and make sure that dollar amount needed for funding is identical to your top line dollar amount as well. And then tip number 5, financial projections. Who doesn't love money? All right, when you're doing tutoring, I'm sure we're in the tutoring to, to help the individuals and help the students. But, if we don't make money, if we don't make profits, we're not going to be able to help students. It's as simple as that. So this little basic, profit financial projection template right here is very handy to identify what your profit and losses are going to be on a monthly basis. And the way the structure is, it's broken into 3 categories: Category 1, Category 2, and Category 3. Category 1 is going to be your revenues, how much money you're going to make. So for this example, what we're estimating is you're going to charge $80 an hour for tutoring services. Your variable costs, I love tutoring companies again, because the variable costs are so crazy low. You might have to pay gasoline to go from, one house to the next, or, from your home to a library or a, Taco Bell or something to, do tutoring sessions. I used to love doing a lot of tutoring over at Panera Bread. So your variable costs can be as simple as a little bit of gasoline, some pen, and a little bit of paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to subtract your variable cost from your sales price, which is going to give you your gross profits. In this example, $75. Then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the number of tutoring sessions you're going to have per day. And, for this example, it's going to be 10. It could be you've got 2 people you're working with. Each person is going to work, for 5 hours. And that's going to, once you multiply the number of tutoring sessions by the gross profits, it's going to give you $750. Finally, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply $750, your average daily gross profits. You're going to multiply that by the number of days that you plan to work that month. In August, September, and October, November, it's going to be a lot of days. Once you get to December and you get to your June, July, and August, these days are going to go down. So keep that in mind. So you're going to take your total gross profit and you're going to multiply that by the days in the month, and it's going to give you your monthly gross profits in this example, $15,000. You are then going to take that $15,000 and you're going to slide it all the way down here to monthly profits. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to work with your monthly fixed costs. You're going to identify what your loan payments are, your inventory, your labor, your marketing, your legal, your miscellaneous, and you're going to total all that information into monthly fixed cost. Once you're done with that, you're going to take that $6,200 and you're going to mosey it right on down here into the section number 3. In section number 3 is going to be your monthly profits. Once you've got your monthly gross profits of $15,000 that was pulled down here, and once you've got your monthly costs, which were pulled down here, you subtract your costs from your profits, and that's going to give you your net profits, in this example, $8,800. Now, not only do you have a good idea what your monthly profit is going to be for this month, but here's the kicker, is now that you've got this model set up, this financial model set up, you can start changing your prices, you can start changing your variable costs, you can start changing the number of tutoring sessions offered, the number of days in the month that you're going to tutor. Any of these variables that you now change is going to immediately reflect in your net profits. So this is a great little structure that you're going to be able to use to identify, how much money you're going to be able to make on a monthly basis. All right, so in summary, when you're doing your tutoring company business plan, first and foremost, make sure to follow a proven format. If you go out onto the web and you get a business plan general template that may be used for manufacturing and retail and also for restaurants as well as tutoring, you're going to have a whole bunch of sections in there that you're not going to need, and you're now going to have to do research and figure out what sections you need and what sections you don't need. That's a lot of time, money, and aggravation that you're going to go through. So make sure to follow a proven format. You can go to the SBA website and download a template from there, but you can also contact me. I do have some tutoring company templates that I do sell. Next, keep the start of the show as the business. This is hard to do for a tutoring company because usually the owner is also the tutor. And if you don't talk about you and your knowledge and your experiences, then people aren't going to go with your organization. So this is a little bit tricky as compared to other companies like restaurants, but do your best to keep the start of the show as the business. Talk about the services you're going to offer in a structure that you're going to follow. Even though that you're going to be providing the services, still just talk about the services you're going to do as compared to, how great you are. So, stay away from how great you are. Keep the star of the show, the business and the services offered. And finally, if you do, again, want to go ahead to avoid the aggravation and the fun and excitement, rather, of writing your business plan, contact me. I'd be delighted to help. If you do want some more information on writing your own business plan for a tutoring company, just jump on over to my website, and it is qualitybusinessplan.com, how to write a tutor business plan. And then what you're going to do is just, read through some of the information. I do have more details on how to write up a business plan and give you some tips and tricks for each section of the business plan. So hopefully this information was helpful. And if y'all do want a book, again, just go to www.amazon.com/author/Paul Borosky, and I've got a plethora of books on there for you. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you want me to help you with the plan, give me a call. And if you need some information on a guide for writing yours, visit me on Amazon. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.